Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching House of the Dragon. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are watching episode 2 of season 2 of House of the Dragon, and the last episode ended pretty horrifically. Prince, I always want to say Jaehaerys was killed, right? Ugh, all the J names. At least it's not another Aegon. Anyway, he was killed instead of Aemond. Rhaenyra really wanted Aemond. I don't even know if she just said she wanted Aemond Targaryen. She didn't say dead. That could have been alive. That could have been like, maybe she wanted to, I don't know, do something other than have him dead. I'm assuming that she probably meant dead. Like eye for an eye, son for a son, and Daemon made something happen, but probably not the best thing to happen. Blood and cheese were absolutely horrible, and I've heard that they are even worse in the book. I'm more mad about the dog being kicked than anything, but it is also equally sad because I like Helaena. I like Helaena a lot. She's probably the only one likable in that entire family. And, I'm also someone who doesn't mind Alicent that much, to where she is incredibly hypocritical, but also she's incredibly human. So her like lighting a candle for Luke was really touching, and it shows that she's not just blindly doing this for power, that like she sees, what's happening in the blood being spilled and how the families are still being torn apart. And I'm sure she doesn't love that. But now what's happened with Aegon's son, I think he might be a little pissy about it. He was really trying, I think, in the last episode to be king, and to be a father, to bring his son to the council with him and everything, was trying to include him in it. I don't know if that was necessarily wanting to be a father or just kind of wanting to cause chaos. We know that young kings aren't necessarily the best at holding court or having meetings and being kings. I think Tommen was probably our best bet that we saw out of that whole group. I think one thing that they really did last episode was distinguish Aegon from like a Joffrey, where Joffrey loved not only causing chaos, but he threw temper tantrums all the time and loved embarrassing people, killing people, screaming at people. And it seemed like Aegon really wanted to listen to the people and wanted to help them. And he's like, oh, of course, we'll return their goats. That sounds awful. Oh, you don't have enough money to buy steel? Well, we definitely need weapons. You will be well paid. And like, that's great to hear, but Otto is also kind of like, hey, we can't really afford to do that. And, keep like telling like the king, you can't do that. But you know what? You guys are in such a rush to put a crown on his head and put him in place as the king. You didn't, teach him anything about being a king. I feel like, and, his dad died. I get it. Viserys wanted Rhaenyra at the council meetings, didn't really have Aegon at them, and it shows. Good job, Viserys. Good job. But Alicent and Otto are trying to do what they can to steer things in the right direction. I feel like Aegon's son being killed, Aemond, was already fired up, wanting to go to war and wanting to just press forward. I think that might be like an even bigger push, and I feel like this is the episode where everything really takes off. The last episode was to kind of digest what happened at the end of last season, and then this episode is the one where we're like, oh shit, it's on. And you know what? Listen to Helaena. Anytime she says something, will people please listen to her? Because like, she sees it. She can see it. And the trauma that had to cause her. But then also running into your mom's bedroom and seeing her doing the Knight's Guard, or the head of the King's Guard, Knights. What is it? Knight? Who cares? Kristen Cole, he's garbage. You know what? I don't blame Alicent. He's there. He's available. She kind of liked him from before. I feel like Larys is going to have an issue with that. And, I don't know if he's a jealous man, but I do feel like he gets shit done in the most grotesque way possible. So great. Now, of course, I'm sure this episode's going to pick up with everybody learning the news about what happened to, is it Jaehaerys or Jaceres? Jaehaerys. Jace is the other side. Jesus, these names. The only one that seems to like really stick for me is Rhaenys, because I love her. And I feel like had they just made her queen and that was the law of the land and patriarchy wasn't a thing, all of this could have been avoided. Or maybe it would have happened sooner. I don't know. I don't see Viserys like going to war over a throne. And I love Rhaenys. And I love how she treated Daemon in the last episode, where he's like fired up, ready to go, wants to take out Vhagar. I get it. Vhagar's scary. Big scary dragon. Very powerful dragon. And she's just like, he kind of like orders her, and she's like, well, I would if you were king. Like, kind of like, oh, ow. I love that. And I mean, let me tell you, her and Corlys, I think, are like my favorite couple of the entire show. I feel so bad for them about their children, them thinking that Rhaenyra is dead and losing their daughter. But I like was so upset last season when I thought Corlys was going to die. It was so nice to see him in this one. And I didn't know, and I had to be told that whom he was talking to is actually one of his bastards. I hate saying it that way too. It's a child of Corlys that is not a child of Rhaenys. I hate the word bastard. It's like Game of Thrones just normalized it so much, but it still just doesn't roll off the tongue nicely. Apparently it does for some people. Anyway. Bad joke. I really like them as a couple, and him, repairing his ship and wanting to get back out to sea. He had that sword made for Lucerys. His daughter now no longer has, I don't know if they were married yet or if they were just betrothed, but her betrothed is gone. So there's just a lot of pain. And I feel like Corlys has like the biggest heart out of everyone. Like you can just kind of see it on him. So him and Rhaenys, definitely my favorite. But I think it would be, if I didn't talk about it enough in the last episode, Emma Darcy is just a powerhouse in that she had one line, but she delivered so many tears from me, and just like they can just make you feel amazing. And I will continue to correct myself, because if somebody says they want to be called something in particular, I will honor that, because it's not that hard. I just want to point that out. But Emma is a powerhouse. I cannot wait for the rest of the season and what we're going to see. Especially the scene between Rhaenyra and Jace when he gets back from Winterfell, which was like another one of those like breathtaking moments. But the hug, the embrace that they had, and the crying was just so beautiful and so mother-son. Like, it was like he was expected to just be like very stoic, and he couldn't keep it together. And Rhaenyra was just mom, and they cried together, and it was such a beautiful moment. Oh my gosh, the acting we get out of this. Now, of course, we started the last episode, which was very Jon Snow coded. They knew what they were doing with the music, with the voiceover, with the visuals. But then, we got to see the wall, and we got to have a Targaryen at the wall. Although I know his last name isn't Targaryen, but like we got to have that there and that moment. And I think that that's really important. And it's funny how I could say that the wall made me feel like I was home, because we're so accustomed to it. We're so accustomed to Winterfell, and winter is coming, and just the tone of voice and the dress and everything. It felt so comforting to be there. And then as soon as they talked about what was beyond the wall, I felt that terror again. And even though we know how it goes, it's still there. Oh, it's so good. This show is so good. The whole world is so amazing, and the world building is amazing. So I cannot wait to get into this episode, guys. So I'm not going to wait any longer. Let's get into it. Oh, and I'm wearing green, but I am not for Team Green. I feel like we need to specify those things when we're watching this show. Okay, proceed. I do really love this new beginning with the tapestry. It's stunning. I don't understand any of it. There's an entire breakdown that I watched. As though that cleared anything up. People know way more about this than I do. I thought it has the hands, the black and the green hands. Stunning. All the sigils around the side. Oh. Are the gold cloaks just going through the town? Just gathering everybody, or are they getting everyone out of the Red Keep? Are they collecting all the help? Yeah, they're gonna ask where Kristen Cole was, because wasn't he supposed to be, like, protecting?
I'll kill them all!
His grieving father.
Fire from the sky! This is war! I declare war!
That's way more than pissy. Oh boy. But maybe he'll get it out, and then they'll come to a more rested conclusion. Everyone will just get along, right? Eye for an eye, son for a son. Yeah, he's got to know that that was for him. Yeah, the lamp, like, or the whatever rolled across the floor. One of the torches they had. I don't know if they just, like, left that, or...
We mustn't be shaken by this. The child.
The child is dead. His pain is ended. But what they've done to Micah...
Oh.
Yes.
Like I said, Helena's the only one I even really give two shits about.
Daughter, listen to me. We will mourn as we must, but some good may yet come of this.
What?
My son is my legacy! My son is heir to the Iron Throne! And where were you? The Lord Commander of my King's Guard.
I was abed, Your Grace, having ordered the Night's Watch.
Abed. Abed!
He was in a bed.
Instead of safeguarding the sanctity of my family.
He's keeping your mom alive.
Who would do this save the bitch queen of bastards? There she sits across the bay on her rock, laughing at me. She's fucking laughing at me!
That's a great performance. Amazing.
You mean to blame Rhaenyra? Tell the realm she has done this.
I'll have the realm told nothing. We were assaulted within our own walls. I will not be seen as weak.
You're already seen as weak, Aegon.
Oh, shit. That doesn't help.
And so you would name her Monster, Slayer of Infants.
I would do more than that. A funeral progress. Let them see the child.
Oh,
Let them look
Jesus.
upon the works of this pretender to the throne.
Dark. So dark.
No. I will not have my little son's body dragged through the street like a dead dog.
Not dragged, honored! Jaehaerys will do more for us now than 1,000 knights in battle.
Oh. Why do I want to hug Aegon so badly?
You will have your war, Your Grace, but if you wait a short time, you may yet double your strength.
I hate Otto Hightower. Hate him.
No, I do not wish to be a spectacle.
The realm must see the sorrow of the crown, a sorrow best expressed through its most gentle souls.
I hate Otto
I think
Hightower.
you'll all agree the king himself must be spared.
Women have to shoulder everything, don't we? Oh, hey, baby girl.
There's to be a funeral for Jaehaerys. We've been asked to ride on a wagon behind his body.
I don't want to.
We are representatives of the throne. We have a duty. Helena, what you saw last night when you came to my room...
Oh, now you're worried about yourself? Oh, boy.
I was hired by Daemon Targaryen,
Who is us?
a rat catcher, employed by the household. I don't know his right name.
He's saying so easily. I think Laris unfolding all of that would make me just spill every secret I possibly had as well.
Behold the works of Rhaenyra Targaryen.
Although it's true. I don't know why. Oh, really? Really?
Are you gonna hurt me?
No,
Oh.
but I cannot vouch for his grace.
Oh boy. Oh. I mean, if somebody killed my kid. Oh, really? Oh, this is like her worst nightmare. Oh god, please don't let the body fall off. Oh girl.
Curse of Rhaenyra, the monstrous!
They should not have to go through all of that.
And they are accusing me of having a hand in this.
It appears so.
It must be said that the damage to our position is immeasurable, at a time when we most need loyalty to our cause.
Good job, Damon.
A mother so aggrieved might naturally seek relief and retribution.
Are you suggesting, Sir Alfred, that my grief drove me to order the decapitation of a child?
I merely thought an action taken in haste.
Mind yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, that read.
I was clear in my instructions. Aemond, the brother of Aegon the Usurper. I cannot be responsible for a
Cannot be
mistake.
responsible.
Yeah, you are responsible, bro.
I have served you faithfully.
Have you? Or have you used me as a tool with which to grasp at your stolen inheritance?
Boy. They gonna make out?
I think you used my words as an excuse to take your own revenge. To indulge the darkness you keep sheathed within you like a blade.
You think me some kind of monster?
Mildly.
Do you believe he made you heir because of your great wisdom? Because of your virtue?
How dare you?
Or did he merely use you as a tool to put me in my place because he was afraid of me? No.
He was not afraid of you! He could not trust you! Any more than I can trust you.
He was a fool.
You struck down a child.
It was a mistake.
You're pathetic.
I don't know if I'd ever say that to Damon. She just wanted accountability. Oh. But it's not a shock. We can't really trust Damon. Like, he kind of just does whatever he wants. Loose cannon.
When morning comes, take Moondancer and keep a watch on King's Landing.
I will be vigilant.
I depend on you, Baela. Stay high and keep your distance.
I don't want anything to happen to Baela.
My father?
Don't tell him.
He must follow his own path.
Okay. As I think Rhaenyra knows that she can't control Damon, so why bother? Oh, hi Vivi! What are you gonna go do, Damon? Going to Harrenhal, gonna go burn some shit down? Caraxes is such a crazy looking dragon. Poor Helena, she should not have to go through any of this. Son being killed, going through the streets, being forced to be around people. Like, she's definitely a special child. She needs protection. You're not gonna comfort her? She's your sister. She's your wife. She's... She needs double comfort from you, son. Oh god, they're taking the bed apart. I mean, smart but sad. Hopefully I don't want her to walk in and see that. I don't care if you're sad, Kristen Cole. Gotta start them young. Got them liking dragons at a very early age. This episode feels very different than most Game of Thrones episodes. Like the close-up on Helena and then the close-up on her.
Have you told anyone?
Him? Why would he?
What do you take me for?
One who seeks absolution.
There is none for what I've done.
Is he gonna be able to stop himself from going in there? Yes.
What is this? The procession was muddy. I'll replace it hence. Do it now. The night was long, Sir Kristen. And I had not eaten. If I could
You
just...
defy my authority, Sir Arik.
I do not.
The white cloak is a symbol of our purity.
Oh, I
our
see what's
fidelity.
happening.
King's Guard are a sacred trust. Will you so easily sully our ancient honor?
Like you? My god, he's a hypocrite. Drives me crazy. Remember last season when I cried for him? Ugh.
Where were you when Jaehaerys was murdered?
Not begging his grandma, that's for sure.
Where were you, Lord Commander?
And why has Helena the Queen been granted no sworn protector? Surely once she ascended, she should have... Oh, brother!
He's a thief and a traitor to the crown.
And I'm done.
First your brother betrays us, and then the young prince is murdered. On your watch.
Your watch.
You have brought disgrace upon our ranks, and now you must restore it.
How am I to do that?
Yeah, how, what are you gonna make him do? What stupid thing are you gonna have him do?
You will go to Dragonstone and strike down Rhaenyra in her own halls,
You're an idiot, Kristen.
the way she sought to do with Aemond.
How would I enter?
Your twin serves there at the pleasure of the so-called queen. They will mistake you for him if you play the part.
We are sworn to serve forthrightly, not to traffic in deception.
Put down the pretender and you will end a war before it begins.
You need to change your allegiance.
If they see the two of us...
You must not let that happen.
You would send me to my death.
Or to triumph.
Oh my god, I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
You missed supper.
I wasn't hungry. Do you know where he went?
Harrenhal, I would think.
Same.
Sometimes I think I hate him.
Easy to do. What is this? So is this like the king with his boys again? Entertaining them while on the Iron Throne? Or did Daemon come to visit here? Oh, Daemon. I totally forgot about him.
I do regret that business with Luke. I lost my temper that day. I am sorry for it.
I would remind you only that when princes lose their temper, it is often others who suffer. The small folk, like me.
Interesting.
I don't think you let children go hungry while you filled your own cellars.
Lucky we don't have enough coin to find out.
The king has promised us some relief.
Did he say when?
I worry for this man. I feel like he's gonna go ask Aegon again, and Aegon is going to be a very different type of king.
Hugh.
I like Hugh. I don't want anything to happen to Hugh.
Well met, brother. After many months away.
Ah. So is this another child of Corlys?
A jest.
Alan of Hull and
One you may
Adam of
regret
Hull.
as you're supping alone tonight.
I've broken my teeth on heart attack, Adam. Say you have a pot of your goat stew simmering at home.
You're in luck. In more ways than one.
Uh-oh.
I hear Lord Corlys himself commended you for your service to him.
He did.
Will you sail with him when his ship has been repaired?
He made no offer.
Yet.
There is a war brewing, Adam.
Another opportunity to distinguish yourself. Remind him of your worth.
Oh, I need no favors.
But brother, he owes you. He owes us.
Does the stew have carrots in it?
A good stew does. My favorite couple.
You don't think Daemon will challenge her?
I want Rhaenys for queen. I like Rhaenyra just fine, but I like Rhaenys a lot.
But neither can he allow her to command him.
Pity. I have on occasion found that to be quite enjoyable.
You know, I love them so much.
If he can take Harrenhal, all may well be forgiven. In the meantime, I am here. And Meleys. We will not let the Queen falter.
Gosh, they have every reason to not be loyal, and they are. The Queen passing over Rhaenys, like just what happened to their children time and time again. It's still just showing loyalty.
The Lady Massaria, Your Grace.
I'm gonna have to put her name on a sticky note so I remember it.
You're aware of yesterday's events in King's Landing?
I am.
Tell me what part you played in their unfolding.
I had nothing to do with it.
I know you are entwined with the usurpers.
I gave Daemon 2 names. That is the extent of it, and I did not wish to do that much. He said it was the price of my freedom.
Yet you're not free.
It would not serve me to set you free. At best, I lose an asset to my cause. At worst, you betray me in some foul way.
I have no interest in betraying you, Your Grace.
I actually believe her in that.
Bit by bit, I earned my living. A house, a household, a home. Then they set it all aflame.
Who did?
The Hightowers, I can only assume. Daemon, Otto Hightower. They will never accept me. I might as well have remained a whore.
I mean, if you gave her a home, she'd be loyal to you for forever. I'm sure of it. Saw her as more than just what Otto and Daemon saw her as. Definitely a good way to build an ally, especially one with connections. Uh-oh. Oh, God. The whole crab thing from, like, last season. Is this Bela? It doesn't look like Caraxes. Oh, he was really staring at that dragon. Is that a future I see coming? He's part Corlys. He could probably be a dragon rider. Oh, God. Oh, God, why? Oh, God, Hugh better not be up there. What are we looking at? Rat catchers?
Rat catchers.
Yeah.
In the king's employ.
Did they get cheese? They only kicked a dog. Oh, buddy. He hurt you. Come live with me.
What have you done?
Did he kill him?
The rat catchers!
I had them hanged.
Idiot!
Beware how you speak to your king, my lord.
He's murdered innocent men. They are fathers and brothers and sons. And their wives and children gather now at our gates to weep and curse your name.
Yeah, you didn't do yourselves any favor, kiddo. You had all the sympathy from the realm. Not anymore.
We must act. Sir Kristen Cole has acted.
Uh-oh. Oh, that look. Oh, that look.
And what has Sir Criston Cole done?
He has sent Sir Eric to slay Rhaenyra.
Alone?
He's pretending to be his own twin. Brilliant.
Yeah, same Otto.
God's help us all.
It's time the bitch queen paid a price.
She had paid a price. Her son.
You never think of your father. His dignity.
Fuck dignity. I want revenge.
Yeah. We can tell.
My father is dead.
He is. And we are the poorer for it.
On that, I think we can all agree.
He was right about you.
He made me king.
Oh, that laugh.
Is that what you think?
He made you king.
Remove your badge, Sir Otto.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
You are my father's hand, not mine. Take it off.
You wouldn't dare.
I have dared, and I find it stimulating.
Does he make his hand not Laris, right?
Give it to Cole.
Ew. Oh, that is an awful idea. Oh, no.
Grace. You have proven yourself of more worth than 100 old men.
Can he be Lord Commander and Hand of the King?
I do not know if I trust you. And I sense that there is danger in you yet. But I will keep the word of my house if you say that it was given.
Oh, good. I love Rhaenyra.
Sir Eric, Mysaria will be leaving us. Let her collect her things, then have someone take her down and secure her berth on the Corwin.
Your Grace.
So is he going to be gone when his brother arrives? And it'll be just a switcheroo? Is his brother coming in on that ship? Is she going to see him? Oh, please say something. Please say something. Please say something.
A moment.
Mysaria, I will never forget your name ever again if you go say something. I mean, I know he's not going to kill Rhaenyra, but I don't want anything to happen to his brother, who is on our side. Oh my gosh, there's so much tension. Question, is it the same actor playing them, or are they actually twins? Oh, now I don't know which one's which. Obviously the paranoid one is the one we have to worry about.
Please try and lay down, Your Grace.
Thank you, Linda.
It's been a strange day. I'm restless. I will stand this evening's duty.
I mean, again, I know she's not going to get killed, but I'm worried about Alinda.
Sir Eric.
Believe me, I had no choice.
I don't understand.
Brother!
Oh boy.
Do not do this. You are the one who betrayed us, Eric.
Well, how do you even tell them apart? Does like one have a mole somewhere that's... Oh, this is amazing.
Run, Elinda! Run and find Sir Lawrence!
I need Rhaenyra to grab, like, a sword or a knife and cut the right brother's hair off. That way I know who's who. Oh, God, brother against brother is just wild.
Your Grace!
Sir Lauren!
Which is Eric?
We were born together. You parted us! But I still love you, brother.
Oh! 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 Hey.
Your Grace, forgive me.
No! Oh! Oh! It sucks.
I can't stay here. Witness to the blundering of our plans, I'll return to Old Town. The High Towers still have strength, and you have a son there. Daron may yet help us in weeks to come.
I always forget about how many children these people have.
I have sinned.
I do not wish to hear of it.
Oof. She wants to tell somebody. I feel like having any sort of pull with Christian Cole is going to be a good thing. Aegon is so complicated. Now that he's the hand. Oh, I was hoping that was coming. But not this. We're gonna end the episode with Christian Cole and Alicent getting it on. That sucks. Damn it. Okay. Wow. I didn't think that we were gonna lose Eric and Eric. Not that I was like particularly like they weren't my favorites, and sometimes I even forget that they're in the show. But the fight to the death that they both have, and then giving up one's life after he kills his brother. If Game of Thrones is anything, it is so much brotherly relationships. And, you know, you have the Tyrion Jaime relationship and like all of the Starks, right? And even like Aegon and Aemond and just Jace and Luke, you know, Daemon and Viserys, you know, like there's so many brotherly relationships that are in this show. And like there's like just these tight bonds. And even Otto kind of like thinking of Viserys, you know, very deeply and loving him very much. That was a heartbreaking scene. So well acted. I had to actually look it up because I was like, is it just one actor or is it two? And it's two, and they do a great job. May the Eric brothers rest in peace. I knew that was like not gonna work. Kristen Cole definitely felt guilty about not being there to protect Helena and Jaehaerys. Oh, poor thing. He's dead, and I can't remember his name. I keep wanting to say Jaehaerys, and I have to remember Jaehaerys. Anyway, so you know, I'm sure he feels incredibly guilty about that, which he should, because he should have been protecting them. And then, of course, Alicent feels guilty because she also knows that he should have been protecting them. So I just cannot stand Kristen Cole. It's so funny. Like, I cried tears for him in the first season. I felt so bad for him. And then I was like, oh my God, I hate your guts. And it continues. It continues. The guidance that he is going to be giving Aegon is probably not going to be sound, good, or structured. It's going to be, let's burn it all to the ground. That seems like a great idea. I can't stand him. And then, of course, now him being the hand of the king, there's a little bit more freedom for him and Alicent to have a relationship. I don't know how free of a relationship they get to have, but definitely he's not breaking his oath as the Kingsguard. I feel like there's always somebody in the Kingsguard that's breaking that oath anyway. If it's not Jaime Lannister, it might as well be Kristen Cole. I can't stand him. Now Otto and how he handles that whole situation. I'm actually like, I can't stand Otto. I can't stand how manipulative he was with a dead baby and wanting to parade that dead baby through the streets with grieving mothers behind them. Like, does he not know Helena enough to know that that's not good for her? Because Alicent knew it right away. Helena was like, I don't want to do this. And it's just like, it's so harmful for Helena to be put in a situation in which there are a lot of people and a lot of noise and a lot of touching. Like, that is not the scenario she needs to be in. I hate Otto for not knowing that and manipulating the events in order to create sympathy. But I also felt very bad for him, as he knows that Aegon messed up by killing all the rat catchers. And he knows that Kristen Cole's plan is stupid and it's not going to work. And it's all of that is not going to work in their favor. The brothers killing themselves and the fight in Rhaenyra's chamber, like, that's going to be heard far and wide that they had sent an assassin and it ended with the killing of two brothers. And they're going to hear about all the rat catchers that, were killed because, they couldn't find the guilty ones, so they just killed them all. And, that really reflects on Aegon. And I agree with Otto that it was a really stupid move. As much as I don't like him as Hand of the King, he did want peace. He didn't want war. And of that, I agree. That I will miss, because now it's going to be full steam ahead war. Somebody else that you want by your side and not off doing whatever he wants to do, because whenever Daemon's left to his own devices, he gives into a lot of urges, that bloodlust that he has, or that revenge that he seeks. And it's funny because Rhaenys was like talking about being passed over for the crown and how she knows how it feels, and she was empathizing with him a little bit. And Rhaenyra saying like she can't trust him, and Viserys couldn't trust him, and that he's not trustworthy, and every right to say so. He's not. It's mostly not that he's going to do something to harm you intentionally. He just doesn't play the long game. He doesn't think things through. He wants instant satisfaction of a throat slit. I feel better, instead of like seeing like, well, now the chess pieces need to be placed in order to win, and you've put us at a strong disadvantage. And I love every scene with Emma and Matt. They command the screen. I don't even know if I said anything through their entire argument, because they are just so good at holding the room and just really like taking up so much space while letting each other breathe. It's amazing. It's amazing. And anytime somebody says something sharp to Daemon, like I really loved when Rhaenys was like, I would if you were king. And then, having Rhaenyra just be very sharp with him and say certain things like, you're so pathetic. Like, I fear that Daemon, because that Daemon might not do something in that moment, but he's going to go get on Caraxes and he's going to go blow some shit up. And do I like when he does that? I mean, yeah, it's kind of dope. But I also hate it because most of the time it is not well thought out, it's not well planned, and it's a little bit over the top and too much. Now, Mysaria, I made sure I wrote down her name, because I even think I said Meleys, which is a dragon. Still dope, but that's not who it was. I was like, please say something, please say something. And I don't know if she's boarding a ship, I don't know if she's off to Essos, I don't know if she's done and gone, or if we're going to find out that she was the one that let them know that there was an intruder. Rhaenyra might hold her in high regard that way, and I think that that's kind of good to have someone like her on your side, but she was free. She wanted to go free. And I loved that Rhaenyra, even though they had that confrontation and she was just like, you know, like, I don't have to honor what Daemon said, or, you know, he's not here to honor what he said or whatever, that she had enough time to like think about it and just say like, I'm going to honor that. You're free to go. But I'm not dumb enough to let you just run free. You're going to go to Essos. You're not going to stay in Westeros, which I think is a very smart thing for Rhaenyra to say. We also got Adam and Alan, who I believe are the bastards of Corlys. And then you had that one scene, I'm not sure actually if it was Adam or if it was Alan, that was staring up at the dragon. And I was like, I feel like that's kind of like a foretelling a little bit. I feel like he's going to be a dragon rider. If he's not, then that's just me seeing into something. But like, why have the big moment of him on the beach staring up at a dragon if he's not going to be a dragon rider in the future? And again, I got that wonderful scene with Rhaenys and Corlys in bed, and I absolutely love them, and they are just everything. Oh. I worry about them though, because whenever you like somebody in the show or you care about somebody in the show, guess what happens? I worry about Helaena. I worry about Rhaenyra. I worry about Jace and Baela, for sure. Baela especially going to, you know, monitor King's Landing, and, you know, Rhaenyra saying like, stay high, blah, 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 like all that. Like, I worry about that. I wouldn't want something to happen to Daemon's daughter, because I don't know how Daemon would react if it's actually his blood that had been spilled. Probably not good. Probably like Aegon, which I don't blame Aegon's response of anger and pain, and like he's really mourning the death of his child, and I really wanted him to have a better moment with Helaena, and it's like they don't comfort each other, or he doesn't try to comfort her, and it's like parents losing a child, only those two people can feel the most pain out of anyone, and you know, she probably needed him to comfort her, but he is not finding comfort. He is very angry. I don't blame him for, not that I don't want to be like, I'm okay with torture, but you know, him wanting to get to the bottom of it, the rat catcher, you know, I don't know if that was the right way to go about it, but he did get him. And I wasn't sad because that was the guy that kicked the dog. And then the dog was there and he was like, oh, I love you. I miss you. Like, that just tells you how loyal dogs are. I want to give that baby a home. And then we had a couple scenes with Hugh. Well, maybe I'm thinking they had like in the recap, they made sure to bring him up. And then they had Hugh again. And I don't know if Hugh is incredibly important to the story, but I worry about him going to ask Aegon for more money for whatever, for steel. But I feel like Aegon might be kind of like wanting to push it more so now that he actually wants to go to war over Jaehaerys being killed. I have to applaud, I don't know the actor's name that plays Aegon, but he is so complicated. And I love what they've done with his character because he is a complete shitbag. Like he's not great. You know, he's responsible for rapes and he's awful. And I remember him kind of getting slapped around by his mom last season, and, you know, him wanting to try to take responsibility as king, act as king, you know, bring his son along because that's not something Viserys did for him. And now him wanting to act in a way that a king would act. He didn't want his son's body to be shown to the whole kingdom. He didn't want that either. It's like, you can see the heart that's in him. He has Alicent's heart, but I think, oh God, I wish he had more Viserys in him. I really do. Although Viserys was kind of a do-nothing king almost, where he'd just be like, yeah, it'll work itself out a little bit. I mean, because he didn't do anything in the Stepstones. Daemon did all of that, essentially. But, you know, I love seeing how complicated Aegon is. The whole scene with him and Otto with Kristen Cole in the background, like, he commanded that scene. What an amazing actor. Just everything that he's giving, I thought for sure he would just be like a little bitch king, and it's kind of showing that he is complicated and that he has all these feelings and that he is showing his anger to the people that like will get fired up by that anger, like Kristen Cole. And and the people that like he can weep openly in front of, like his mother. You know, I feel bad for him. I feel bad for people whenever they lose a child and they're going through something like that. But I don't know how to feel. Now, here's the thing. We know that there are many Aegons that carry on throughout the rest of the Game of Thrones history. One in particular at the very end, the very last Targaryen happens to be an Aegon Targaryen, right? So I don't think he loses this war. I think he remains on the throne. And I don't know if he's a great king or not, but at least I kind of care. I don't want to say I care about him, like I don't want him to die, but I'm like, wow, that's a complicated character. And I love that they've made him complicated instead of very one-dimensional. Like, I thought Joffrey was very one-dimensional. The only time they gave him dimension is when he was like scared of his grandfather. Tywin Lannister was like terrifying, right? So like that's the only time there's actually any dimension, like when he got like slapped like a little bitch by Tyrion, you know, like there was like some stuff, but like, you know, he never like suffered heartbreak. It was always throwing temper tantrums and yelling. And Aegon is not like a Joffrey, and it's very refreshing, but at the same time it is still like wild card, because who knows which way he's going to go. We did have that weird scene with Aemond where he was at a whorehouse and, you know, he was seeking comfort, and that's where he was when the murder took place. And I find that very interesting too, that like, you know, he's like excited that Daemon like sees him as a threat, which I don't know if that's necessarily like true. I don't think Daemon necessarily fears him. I think he just is like, you're kind of a copy paste of me. I should keep an eye on you because you might want to do the same thing that I'll do. Which seems to be the case. Like, he wanted to go, you know, blow up Harrenhal, and I think that's where Daemon's heading. And, you know, Aemon wants to go to war. I don't think that dragons fighting above cities is a great idea. I think that that's how a lot of people die, but I also think House of the Dragon definitely is going to show us dragons fighting each other. Oh man, I can't wait for the next episode. This episode was so good, and I just the brothers was shocking. The emotions, the way it was filmed, a lot of the stuff that I saw in this episode, the close-ups on Helena, like looking down, and like the petals kind of floating around her, and then like the dust floating in front of the window in front of Rhaenyra, and then like the close-up on her one eye and then shifting the focus to the other. Like, I really like the way this episode was filmed. It really made you focus in on eyes and almost like pain, and really feeling the emotions of the aftermath of the last episode. And I really enjoyed it. So next episode, I imagine Daemon is going to blow something up with his dragon. If not, then he is going to be wreaking havoc wherever he is. Aegon is definitely going to be fired up and probably cry in private. I think Kristen Cole is absolutely the worst pick for the Hand of the King. I thought for sure that he'd probably pick Larys, but again, I equate Larys to a Littlefinger, where they're trying to manipulate things from the outside, and I think Larys is really good at that. But I was kind of surprised that Kristen Cole was his pick. I'm surprised that anyone's picking Kristen Cole, to be honest. My distaste for him, very extreme. And it's so funny when I watch interviews and like the puppy interviews where they bring in all the dogs, and I'm almost like, I think his name's Frankie, or now I don't even know, but like I was like ugh, and I was like, he's likable in real life, which is good. So we shan't hate the actor, just the character, but yeah. He is effectively making me hate him more and more every episode. If that was how we're supposed to feel, then it's working. So guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon. And in the meantime, like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. What did you think of this episode? What did you think of Eric v. Eric? I thought it was insane, crazy, beautiful, and incredibly sad. So incredibly sad, the sacrifice. But I wasn't overly attached to them, so at least if somebody's going to die in these episodes, it's not somebody that I worry about dying. Like, like when I thought Corlys was going to die last season, I was like devastated. And then, like when he appeared, I was like, oh, thank God. So it's just like, I always worry about the people I care about anyways, because those are the deaths that probably would hit the hardest. But what do you think Daemon's going to go do? Do you think Harrenhal is next on his list? Because I think so. Do you worry about Baela flying over top of King's Landing? I certainly do. And then Rhaenyra, I don't know. She's dealing with a lot, and I don't know what the correct course of action is, but her saying, I want Aemon Targaryen, I think that gave Daemon permission to do whatever he needed to do. And while she's not directly responsible for the death of Jaehaerys, I do think that like she needs to be very careful when she says things, because of her being queen, someone will be like, yeah, let's go get him. And so I don't blame Daemon for doing what he did, but I do think it was incredibly reckless to not go over it with Rhaenyra first. Oh man. And then what did you think about the funeral in the street? Nothing enrages me more than Otto Hightower trying to manipulate things with like such a scene. Instead of like mourning the loss of his grandson, he's like, how can I use this to my advantage? How can we use this to gain and take away from Rhaenyra? And it's just sick. It worked. Like his strategy is sound. It's just emotionally absent. I don't know. That really, really, really bothered me. And to like see Aegon like really torn up about it, I thought was actually really beautiful. Now him throwing a fit and throwing stuff around the room, I was like, maybe you shouldn't be king. I don't know. I really think the like thing with Otto having that deep laugh, I was like, oh, you think he wanted you to be king? Kind of like, I made you king. But here we are. We can't do anything about it right now. I'm eagerly anticipating the next episode. So guys, come back here for the next one. I don't know if I said make sure to like and subscribe. You probably already know to do that anyways, but I kind of got lost in my own thoughts there. ADHD is fun until it's not. All right. Gotta go, guys. Bye.